Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host Rian Hobson, and we're doing today the crucial FOMC meeting, which will be at 8 o'clock South African time later today. And look, yesterday was a war zone with my account. I got lekker moord yesterday. The dollar turned later in the day, and then my trades actually turned in a bit of red. For now, it looks a bit okay. But yesterday, when the dollar turned, there was a lot of speculation of what was wrong. Was the story of OPEC? Was it today's FOMC meeting that could have lifted up the dollar last night? But that is all to do with the OPEC members that didn't agree. And they thought, as I point out with the previous OPEC member meeting, I did point out there is a bad case scenario where they will not get the agreement and then the UAE can go on its own. So the market was thinking about that, and that's where the sell-off actually happened. That is what I think that the market went into a sell-off. But today is the FOMC meeting, which will be at around 8 o'clock, and that is a crucial one. If you don't have trades open, I would say is the best thing is not to open up trades because it can go either way. But I will give you my personal opinion when it comes to the FOMC tonight. Now, there's a lot of things that actually happened with the FOMC meeting. That is now with the housing market, the inflation number, the unemployment rate, and all of those things. So I will give my prediction of what could be said at the FOMC tonight, but please stay tuned and please don't forget to like my YouTube page. So go to my YouTube page and then you just click there and then you subscribe on my YouTube page. Now, this part of the FOMC tonight is actually crucial because this will give a direction of where the market will go. Now, there's one thing that comes up. If you go to YouTube or listen to the US economy, you will just hear about inflation. And then the other thing is about the basic of the housing market that is actually on heat. So I will just share my screen with you. And I just actually was putting a bit of graphs together because I was doing some analysis onto it. Just 1 minute. And there we go. There we have actually the FOMC, not the FOMC, the housing market. Now, the one in red is actually where the problem is. You see the housing market price index. Now, that one actually shot to records. Now, that is actually the big problem. Although there's a bit of a drop in the existing home sales, the new home sales, and the pending home sales, there is a slight drop. As you can look at the chart, I will just actually make it a bit smaller. You can see there in black, the pending home sales dropped. You can see in yellow, the existing home sales also drop, and then your new home sales also drop. Now, obviously, with the whole thing that happened with the lower of the interest rates, obviously what's going to happen, people's going to buy houses and the house prices would go up. But the crucial thing is this one in red. This is actually the home price index, and that hit record. Now, if I go to maximum again, you would see in 2006, the big one, 2006, 2008 recession, that is actually where it happens, and that is where we got the big crash. Now, it surpassed that. Now, that is where the whole spook come in now, that the housing market is on heat and the Federal Reserve need to act onto it. Now, by lifting up the interest rates, that could be one thing. I don't think that will actually cure the whole thing. I think Federal Reserve is in a catch-22 here. If they do lift up the interest rates with high inflation, that will put pressure on households in America. And I always say you can fix your house price. That's one thing you can do. You can fix your house price, but there's other factors that come into play. You need to drive. You need to pay for your car. You need to eat. All of those things add as inflation in. As inflation goes up, those things get expensive, your lifestyle getting expensive, and that is where you get in trouble. And at the end of the day, you can't pay for your house. So if we do lift up the interest rates, I think it's actually doomed. That is what I personally think. Because you can lift up the interest rates, what the hell is going to be the difference? If you leave it alone, inflation is going to push up anyway. So inflation is going to push up, you will get marked by inflation. If you lift up the interest rates because of the high inflation, you will get marked by the high interest rates, and still you will have inflation. So whichever way he goes, he will still get smashed. A crash must happen. But for now, look, as I said, the bull market is still on because the interest rate will still be low. And I personally think that he will do absolutely nothing tonight. He will maybe talk about interest rates that will maybe go up in 2022. He will stick to the same story. But I personally think he will do absolutely nothing with the minutes. He will just maybe talk about the interest rates. That's maybe it. But I think personally the bull market will still continue, because for this, there's nothing that he can do. Absolutely nothing. So we just need to let the party go on. On the other thing is unemployment. Now, as you know now, I think it was last Friday, yeah, the unemployment news came out, and it was a big surprise. The unemployment actually went up to 5.9, and the NFP number was actually good. Now, that is not good at all, because the unemployment rate goes up, so it means that there's a lot of questions that goes into, a lot of people are coming into the market, looking for jobs, and that's why the unemployment rate goes up. Well, that is still a bad number, because in the mandate of the Federal Reserve, they state there that it's unemployment and inflation and price stability, which they call it. So if unemployment shoots up, that is a concern for the Federal Reserve. So that is one problem. The other problem is the housing market, and the other one is inflation. Now, inflation is at 5%. As he said, inflation year on year is at 5%. It will simmer away as supply come on stream. Well, I'm not sure on that, because you still have wages that still needs to get added into inflation, because wages normally take time to go into the inflation number. To be honest, I think he's just going to talk the same story of what he said the last time about he's going to lift up interest rates. That's it. Maybe he's going to talk about a new variant. I personally think the new variant has no effect until today onto the market. I think the market is just ignoring the Delta variant. And I think personally he's going to just repeat of what was said the last time, that he's going to maybe lift up interest rates in 2022 or 2023, whatever nonsense the Federal Reserve always come up about. But as things stands for me now, there's nothing that the Federal Reserve can do. For me, the party will still continue. Commodities will still go up. Australian dollar will still go up. New Zealand dollar will still go up. I think the party will just continue. That is my opinion for tonight. I think when that minutes get released, the market will just continue onwards with its buying power. So that is it from my side. All the best with the FOMC meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. And all the best with tonight. See you guys tomorrow at the same time at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.